Thank you so much for joining me. It is a joy to be here with you to support you in understanding the combination of expertise, values, and outrageousness. There is so much I want to give you, so much I want to support you in taking away from this meeting. So let's just jump right in and get started. All right. It is a delight. It is an absolute delight right here to begin to show you this. And expertise, values, and outrageousness. 5 simple shifts to increasing your income, your impact, and influence. So many of us have worked and gotten places in our career where we've made it or we've come so much further than we had imagined and are delighted with what we have achieved, and yet have reached a place where it's become mundane. It is a place of you achieve your dreams, and then what? What happens when you get to where it is you wanted to go? Frequently, we disappear. Frequently, we come into a place of struggle or survival, and we're going through the motions. And this is here to really support you in looking at your expertise, your values, and your outrageousness, so we can do 5 simple shifts to increasing your income, your impact, and your influence. Who is this for? This is for successful, visionary women leaders who are ready to go to the next level, even if at the moment you are feeling stuck, lost, or in survival mode, as I just said. We don't need to be there. That's a place we visit. Welcome to humanity. But my desire is to help you step out of that and get you back into flying where you deserve to be. All righty. I am here in the next 45 minutes to support you. Let me put me way down there, to support you in remembering what it feels like to have clarity, certainty, and courage, to have that experience you had when you started off. I want to show you how to claim emotional and financial freedom versus feeling stuck and scrambling for clients. It's a horrible place to be. I will show you how to reclaim your creativity, new ideas, and different levels of service. Because when you become more creative, new ideas come, your level of service just keeps changing. That feeds you as well as your clients. All right. And now with the next step we're going to do here is, in the next 45 minutes, you will recognize your core values and the power they play in your success. It is enormous, all right? You will see how to have success and healthy relationships while turning your expertise into a magnet for freedom, income, and influence. And no, we don't have to choose healthy relationships or success. You can have both. There is a trick to knowing that. You will learn how to stay healthy emotionally, spiritually, and physically while finding time for you. And that is imperative. We need to remember that this is about our journey and being healthy emotionally, spiritually, and physically. My promise to you is that you will fully understand how your expertise, your values, and your outrageousness help you to create the 5 simple shifts you need in order to increase your income, your impact, and your influence while reclaiming that life of passion, joy, and profit. This truly, if you can get the message right up front about helping you claim a life of passion, joy, and profit, it's the only way to go through this journey. All right. What's needed? What is needed if we walk this path? What is needed as we go there? It is to get you there, but requiring that you first need to know if you really want it. Now that you have come far in your career, now that you have come this far in living your life purpose, perhaps, and doing what it is you've come here to do, the question is, do you really want to continue doing it? Do you really want to go forward? You can't get anywhere in life when you sort of kind of want it. Plus, the joy is making it happen. The joy is being a part of the process. So if you really want it, it's practically done. Truly, if you really want it, it's amazing what happens when you really want something. You also have to be honest in looking at where you are in your life right now and where it is you want to go. because there could be any number of things left to where it is you want to go, what it is you want to accomplish. It never stops. It just keeps on going. Life is such an adventure. It is such a joy and an adventure. All right. Thirdly, you need to recognize that you got where you are because of who you are. It has nothing to do with your CV. There are lots of people out there with the same gifts as you, with the same talents as you, and they may be just as good at it as you are. The difference is, however, who you are is the gift you bring to the planet. What you do while you're here, that's the extra bonus. There is nobody out there doing what you do who has exactly your experience, who has exactly your same value system, who has exactly the same outlook on life as you do. That gift of who you are combined with what you do is what makes you so significant. It makes you the gift you bring to every client you possess. You will also need to claim the unlimited power you already possess to make it happen. Whether you've been stuck or lost or just existing, just surviving, it's not that you've lost your power, you've lost touch with the power you possess. And what I truly want to do is help you remember that power and remember the mojo that comes when you've got it, because that's where the fun comes in. All right. Does this sound like you? Do you start your day not even know where to begin? Or if you want to, does every day feel like a repeat, yet with limited funds and with fear of increasing your pricing? It's comical in one way and yet not. We can be limited our funds, yet frightened that if we increase our price, nobody will want to come to us. We're going to be talking about that in great detail in one of the shifts that we'll be working with. Do you want to cry some days and yet also dream of doing what you're doing, just at a much greater level of recognition, excitement, and income? Sometimes the tears are simply because it's not fun. We're not in that place where it's fun to do this. We're in survival mode. And yet doing it when it works feels terrific. So it's, where do you go next? Okay. Do you want to be pursued? If this sounds like you, do you want to be pursued by folks who truly want your expertise and your style, no matter the price? And imagine the difference when people are pursuing you before, rather than you going out looking for clients. When people want to work with you because, whether it's word of mouth or however they were exposed to you, they thought, that is somebody I want in my life, period. And that is somebody whose work I could really benefit from. Do you think of quitting the job and yet know that you'd be lost if you did? We've all gone through different pieces of this. The difference is for how long we go through it. Do you feel that somehow you've disappeared into your work and into all the demands on you? So often we work so hard to achieve something and we're caught up in the achieving. And then once we get there, we realize, wow, this doesn't look or feel like what I was thinking. And we work so hard on getting there that once we get there, we realize, boy, we got lost somewhere in the mix. Don't know how it happened, but we disappeared somewhere in the mix. All right. And if that is you, take a look at that. Take a look at what's going on. So tell me, does it feel impossible for you to be free to travel, sleep, and play, while knowing you're also making a difference in the world and making money? I've done it, so I know it is possible to live a life you can really not even imagine if you're in the life of survival. But once you move back into living and thriving again, you're going to recognize all of this is possible. I know so because I've done it. I've done it many, many years. All righty. The real problem in all of this, the real problem, if this is who you are, is that you haven't made the 5 shifts. You haven't made what I have recognized so clearly in my journey are the 5 shifts we need to make if we are going to have the ability to go forward and live this life that we're talking about, live the life of your dreams. 5 shifts are necessary for most everybody because unfortunately, so many people are surviving. They are not living. And I want to support you in jumping into living this journey. All righty. Once you make these shifts, you won't be able to wait to get up in the morning, because you get to pick who you work for and you get to do what it is you want to do. Once you make these shifts, your clients will call you. And consequently, not only does it make it so exciting that they're calling you and you don't need to call them, but when somebody calls you to work with them, there's a part of you that sits up a little taller and says, ooh, I've got to grow and become my best self. I want to bring my best self to the table. And when folks call you, you start noticing they know who they are. They are reaching out because they know who they are. They know what they want. And it calls you to keep growing so that you're at least a step ahead of them. And it ends up taking both you and your work to the next level. Once you make these shifts, you'll realize that you always had it in you. It's just that you, your gifts, your passion, and your ability to make your dreams possible got lost somewhere on the way to achieving what it is you've achieved so far. And it's natural that our vision becomes narrow and we do what we do. All right. Once you make these shifts, you'll be able to define your life personally and professionally any way you want, knowing it all flows, knowing that doors keep opening and doors you never could have imagined will open for you. Who am I? Very quickly, because that's not extremely important here. I was born and raised in an orphanage, and I was then later adopted and raised in the housing projects of South Boston. And it was quite an adventure, to say the least. And as I was in Southie, I eventually, when I graduated from high school, the traditional thoughts of my parents, but I would simply get married at that point. You graduate in May, get married in June, and have many, many, many children and many grandchildren to offer my parents. And I didn't mind getting married, but I wanted more. And I couldn't go to college because my dad didn't believe in educating girls. So I applied to nursing schools and couldn't get in because I discovered I went to an unaccredited inner city high school. And therefore, no nursing school in the United States could accept me. I had to sit back and someone said, so I guess you're going to get married to Michael. And marrying Michael sounded like a good idea, but I wanted more. And since I couldn't get it in college, I couldn't get it in nursing school. And that's what was pulling me. I hope you know that drive of things that pull you to become something so much more. To me, it's your soul calling you to keep growing and changing. And so what I ended up doing was I sat and noticed two of the teachers in my school, two Catholic nuns in the high school. They had a sense of inner peace that I absolutely wanted. Growing up in an alcoholic, violent home, which I did, and living in the inner city, street corners where gangs lived or hung out, and you knew you don't walk on that corner, you could get yourself jumped. You don't go on that corner, you could get jumped. You walk in the street, it's a safer place. And I thought these two nuns had a sense of inner peace. I didn't know the words at the time, but a sense of inner peace that I absolutely wanted. So I thought, I'm going to go and get whatever it is they've got. I ended up becoming a Catholic nun. And with a long black habit on, Mother Superior said, Sister, I'm sending you to college. When I said they wouldn't let me in, she said, if I send you, they will. Mother Superior sent me. I got a college education. And after that, once you've got a BA or you're far along in your undergraduate studies, nobody cares where you went to high school. And clearly at some point we decided, Sister Mother Superior and I, that perhaps the world needed me more than the community did. So I left and went back to Southie, and I had changed dramatically. And for the few friends that I could find, we were living in very different worlds. Some were on welfare, still living in the projects. And I decided to move to New York City, become an international airline stewardess, and see the world I had missed. And that's what I did. And eventually I ended up getting married, moved to Connecticut, and I was married for 15 years and divorced with a kindergarten and a fourth grader. I needed to support my children, so what was I going to do? I got my master's and opened up a private practice, seeing 42 patients a week, which I did for almost 20 years as a psychotherapist. I share this with you because very, very quickly, I ended up, long story short, I ended up becoming a clinical instructor at one of the best medical schools in the country. A girl who couldn't go to nursing school. I ended up becoming a clinical instructor at a medical school. I couldn't go to college and I ended up at the PhD. Anything is possible. Going back to what I said earlier, if you know what you want, anything is possible. I was a founder of 4 companies, and one of them I ended up with many people, dozens of people on my payroll. I became a pioneer in integrative healthcare as a psychotherapist. And one of the things happened to me that when I took my youngest to college, I drove home and I realized when I pulled into this big house I had bought for the kids that I wasn't happy. Highly successful, but not happy. And I do believe that we are our own avatars. So those are the women that to me at this point, what this webinar is those who have made it, but then realize, I'm not happy. I'm not as happy as I thought I would be at this point. And what ended up happening was I decided I didn't want to do this. I called, before I had a glass of wine, I called American Airlines, got a one-way ticket to the Caribbean, called a real estate agent and sold my home. And then I called my office and said, tell my people I'm leaving the country in 3 weeks. I'm moving to the Caribbean. I traveled back and forth every 2 months for 10 years, living in the Caribbean to teach at my school. I had phenomenal staff supporting me. And when I eventually came back to America, I became an executive leadership coach. These are the lessons I want to teach you. How to do that without needing to leave the country for 10 years, without needing to find yourself in a different way. There's lots of ways to do it. So what I want to teach you are the 5 shifts that I learned in speaking to so many others who were tourists on island, and the life I've lived and all of those I've worked with. There are 5 shifts that I know for a fact you absolutely must make to achieve your outcomes, to reclaim your passion, to have that creativity, that vision, that joy, and the resulting greater financial freedom we all desire. The first shift you must make is you must base everything on your values. Everything. You must base everything on your values. They are the ones that have the solid foundation for you. When you recognize what your values are, you end up coming into a place that says, I am. It is the great I am of who you are, what you are doing, what you know, and what you love. It allows you to really live them. And in doing so, because you can identify who you are, when you know them so clearly, your entire life has as an experience of clarity and peace and joy. You know who you are, you know what your values are, and that I am that you walk in. People see that. They see a presence, they see a power, they see a wisdom. And when we are working with our clients and that's what they experience in us, I can assure you that's what they want for holding their back. They want somebody who has their back with those qualities. And it clearly begins with you knowing what your values are and you living them. All of your relationships will benefit from that one decision. All right. When you have that, with that solidity, with that sense of self, your clients trust you because they see that authentic self. It resonates. They want to be authentic as well. The folks who choose to work with you when you are living your authentic self are those who are choosing to be authentic. They may need you to resonate with that so that they can, in your presence, begin to reclaim it for themselves. They are encouraged with those with the same values to reach out when we walk our values. Those are the people we call towards us. Those are the people that want us to be there for them, but they're also the people we want to work with. And think what it is like to work with clients who resonate with you as well as you resonating with them. My experience is that those who haven't achieved that level of basing everything on their values, they are spiraling out of control with emotions. They're in financial survival, and frequently they're in a place of depression. When we lose sight of what our values are, we truly lose sight of ourselves. And that's where the experience of depression comes in. That's where financial survival comes in. That's where our emotions tend to have much more power over us with all the endless fears and excuses that happen. And we end up in the, maybe if I did this, or maybe if I do that, or maybe if I didn't do this, or if I didn't do that. And what ends up happening is that our life is filled with survival and self-doubt. Coming back to living your values with that certainty of who you are, the whole world opens up. And rather than spiraling down, you recognize you're beginning to fly. You know who you are, you know where you want to go, and your values keep you in alignment with that. There's a lightness, there's a freedom, and there's an energy. And energy, everything is energy. To me, everything in the world is based on energy. The energy we bring to the world, because that defines the energy we bring back into our own bodies, into our own world. All right. When things are going well for you, you feel it in your body. Your weight comes off, your lifestyle changes. You feel brand new all the time. Every day is a new adventure. You know, I moved to Anguilla for 10 years, but you don't have to do that to achieve this. You can find your values here. You can find your values clicking with who you are just by taking these shifts. All right. Notice that if what you value is integrity, you're going to know when you're stepping out of integrity. You're going to know when somebody is dealing with you out of integrity. It's really going to help you define who you work with. It helps you pick the people you work with. Know your values, and you will discover that the only people you work with are those whose values are in alignment with yours. If it's integrity, you will know when somebody is out of integrity, and you won't choose to work with them. It's amazing. And because you are living at peace, you don't do the chaos people who living out of integrity, who live out of the values do. You don't want the chaos. You want to stay connected to who you are. And what happens with that when you are that solid, what your people see is a born leader. What they see when they speak to you with somebody who is so solid, not with confidence, far beyond confidence, you have certainty. There's a certainty because you know who you are, you know your value source, you know what makes you you. And when you have that, what they see is a leader, what they see is somebody who is so authentic and so powerful that she's not going to be in defense. She's not going to be running around. She's not going to get lost in the craziness of it all and not have time for them. You'll know your limits and you'll know your strengths, and you bring the best to the table for your clients all your time. And when you bring your best to your clients all the time, I can assure you that's what they're telling their friends as well. The second shift, you need to flaunt your power, your expertise, and your authority. There's an illusion that we are supposed to have a sense of false humility. Don't. Own it. Humility does not mean playing small. It means owning the truth. And if you are living in values, you have great power. You have that certainty, not the confidence, far beyond it. You've got the certainty of who you are. You're aware of your expertise. It never says I am the best in the whole entire world. What it says is I am far better at what I do than most, because this is my expertise. It's what I've devoted my years, my education, my training, and my experience to. And I have enough experience at this point to be able to support somebody else who doesn't have this expertise and needs it. And you have your authority. You have got to own that authority you possess. It is what defines for you your ability to confront all the things that will face you, because many things will come up and confront you. Again, as I said, it doesn't mean playing small. Own it. Flaunt your power. Your people need you to be powerful. Nobody wants to work with somebody who is timid and frightened. They want to work with somebody who is powerful so that they can take it from there. They want to work with somebody who is powerful because they need to rely on you when they're confused. That's why they're coming to you. And you have to let them know you are an authority in your field, because that's why they're in your presence. They want to know it. I have a client that I worked with for a while. She had this ability to run her company beautifully. She was in Manhattan. She did a phenomenal job running it. She did a great job being who she was in that small place. And her plan was in 2 years, she was going to merge with somebody else. The companies would merge. They would do some projects together. Then the company would merge. And when it did it, what she was going to end up doing was, because they all knew each other, she was going to end up coming together. He would retire. She would take the company and make it happen and go for it. And now, with they knew each other, gradually they wouldn't feel intimidated, she thought, with her moving in and becoming the leader of all of these folks. But what ended up happening is that he got very sick and she needed to take over the company very quickly. And in doing so, taking over that company, she now realized that instead of gradual, instead of building her confidence, instead of building up what she needed, instead of doing what was in her mind's eye the easy way, the comfortable way, the safe way, she was asked to go out there, become head of this company. And he now had offices up and down the eastern seaboard, from Miami to Key West to all over. The body starting in Key West, going to Miami, going up to Tampa, in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and to New York. And all of a sudden now, she had all of these vice presidents underneath her. She had all of these people that she was intimidated by. It was easy for me, having owned 4 companies, to help her learn what to insource, what to outsource, how to create a culture, how to promote folks. The hardest part was having her claim the authority she had in her industry, that she had to increase that energetic footprint. She had to increase that sense of self, so that what she could do is say, I can do this. I'm an authority in my industry. I'm an authority in what I do. And I now have all of these people from less than 50 to 150 employees in several offices up and down the eastern seaboard. And I can do this. And so the biggest part of this was she could do it, and she did it beautifully. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she did it very well. Excuse me, my goodness, welcome to my humanity. I know what I'm doing, and yet here we go as we flip through all of these again to get back to where we were. But notice, all right, notice this is humanity. What do you do when something happens? What do you do? Do you panic? Do you fall apart? Do you sit down and beat yourself up? Or do you accept the fact that whatever on earth was touched, it was touched? And here we are, back where we started. Nobody died, God willing. Nothing happened significantly. This is humanity. And this, in teaching this to the client I'm speaking about, she was an authority. She had expertise. What she needed to do was claim it. And in doing so, she ended up, within a year, less than a year of working with me, was named one of the top female entrepreneurs of New York City. All it took was flaunting and owning her power, her expertise, and her authority, because they needed her to be powerful. The others all needed to know that she could handle it. All right. Now what we're moving into is the secret sauce. This is, to me, the most important, the most significant. You've got the others. You've got what it takes here. It's know your values, flaunt your power, your expertise, and your authority, and have that. But most importantly, the secret sauce. Do not overcome your lower self. Do not overcome your shadow side. Embrace it. Everything in life is energy. Everything, this particular energy, that lower self, that shadow side of yours, it is highly influential. It is passion filled, and it has great impact. It truly does. You will stand out as authentic and real and unforgettable. Remember, your folks want you. They don't just want your CV. Clients don't want to be invisible. And if you are fully visible, if you are fully out there, if you are outrageous and present, then your clients know that you're not frightened of being visible. Consequently, you will have the ability to do it for them. This is what they want. They want to be highly memorable. And when you take all of that outrageous, fun energy, remember, it's energy. It can be destructive or it can be constructive. And I just think some of the best parts of us are that wild, outrageous part of us that can be so much fun, that brings so much life, so much vibrancy into what we do. It supports us in being wild and being outrageous. And that's not destructive. That is not classless. That is not too much. That is somebody who, with that certainty, with that sense of self, knowing her values, has the ability to do it, to make things happen, to be bold. You want to be that person who is the disruptor. You want to be the person who is the pioneer. You want to be the person who is the audacious originator. Remember, again, this powerful energy. If you can use it, you are the disruptor in a good way, in a healthy way, in a powerful way, a pioneer, the audacious originator. It's highly creative energy, and it causes you to stand out in a crowd. That's what we want to do. We want to stand out in a crowd. If you're going to be somebody who's simply going to allow people to learn how to fit in, what have you done for them? How have you supported them? All right. The old way of doing things was basically to be invisible. The old way of doing things was to not be fully present. What we want to do is stand out from the crowd. The old way was get every certification you could. That way there, you proved you're intelligent. It doesn't really matter. You've got every certification in the world, but nobody cares. They only care about how you can help them get where it is they want to go. That's it. That's what they want. They're hiring you because they want to get where it is they want to go. They don't hire you. I can assure you, I've got 9 certifications of integrative healthcare. There was a point when I had a business card that had so many letters it went on to 2 lines. I finally threw all of them out for PhD. Nobody understands what all those letters stand for anyway. All the certifications, all that does is support you or impress somebody else, not the people who are hiring you. Some we were taught in the old way to flaunt our education. I can assure you, nobody has ever asked me what schools I have gone to, what universities. Nobody has ever asked me what my PhD was in. They make assumptions. Nobody really cares about your education. What they care about is how does your training, your impact, and who you are impact on what it is they want to accomplish. When you just flaunt your certifications and your certifications in your education, not what you can do for them, tell me how that's working for you, because it's not what they're looking for. In the old way, you focus on how the market works. Know how the market works, but if the market worked really well, everybody in it would be successful. You want to know how the market works so that you can step out of it. You want to stand out in the crowd. You don't want to blend in. If you do everything the way the market does it, you're one of the crowd. To be noticed, to be successful, to have influence, to have impact, and to have profit, you have to stand out from the crowd. So figure out how is everybody doing it, and you do it differently. It might be 180 degrees differently. It might be 30 degrees differently, but you want to stand out in the crowd and do it differently. You want to bring your people, help them stand out in the crowd. That's what works. The old way is to run in circles. Be nice, play it safe, be steady, keep everything running. Be nervous because you have to keep everything the way it's always been, the way it always should be. Stop being nice. I've written about 8 books. My 8th book is Real Women Change the World, letting the good girl die so the real woman can live. Don't be the good girl. Be that powerful woman who makes it happen. That's truly who you are. Go for it. Be outrageous and make it happen, because that's what they are looking for. Your people are looking for somebody who will make them stand out. Somebody who will make them who it is they want to be. Extraordinary, because it's who they already are. They just need permission from you to get there. And for you to give them permission to stand out, darling, you've got to stand out yourself. All right. The new way of getting there is, again, you being bold. You being bold leads them to a bolder way of living their lives. It leads them to a bolder way of doing their business. You flaunting who you are being so certain and so proud of who you are, who you've become. Flaunt your values. These are my values. Nothing makes me better than anybody else, but it makes me most decidedly me. Never better than anybody else, but most powerfully, most impactfully who I am. These are my values with certainty. And this is the success I've had. To talk about your success, not out there in a braggart way, but when people ask, when people want to know, who are you? What do you do? Talk about your success. Let people know that. Once they know you've had success and it's honest, you may be exactly what it is they're looking for. It also challenges your creativity in addition to theirs. It challenges them. If they are going to work with you, they have to be willing to grow. If they're going to work with you, they have to be willing to come along where you are guiding them, where you are taking them. Show who you are outrageously. Do it any way you can. Draw people to you, whether it's in speaking engagements, whether in videos, Facebook videos, YouTube videos, however you choose to do that. Take out ads. Let the world know you exist, and do it in the most outrageous of ways. And sadly, the most outrageous of ways is frequently simply saying, I am, because so few have permission to say that. All right. The fourth shift, take time away from work and family quarterly. Take time away. Taking time away reminds you of who you are apart from the life you've created. If you can imagine, you're sitting in this chair right here. The life you've created is on the other side of the room. That's why you are so powerful. You could create that life. That life didn't create you. You created that life. Time away allows you to see life from the 30,000-foot view. It allows you to see what's really going on in your business and in your family, in your personal life. When you take time away, you take time away from being stuck. You stop surviving and you stop breathing, you start living. Time away permits you the opportunity, because you're out of the everyday stress. It creates and supports your creativity, your vibrancy, and that supports your profit. Time away from all of the stresses in your life allows you to breathe and collect your emotional intelligence. Remember the emotional intelligence you may have forgotten about, the life skills you forgot you had. It gives you spiritual peace. It gives you physical health. So frequently we sleep better. If you get by the water, you breathe better. Everything is better. In the mountains, we thrive in our time alone because nobody is pulling on us. And we're not inclined to give to everybody because nobody else is there. Your life and your health and your business is built on energy. Your energy needs to be replenished. So take time away in order to replenish that energy and give you permission to be who you are. The fifth shift, invest in coaching. Don't try to do this alone. Invest in mentoring or coaching, whatever works for you. Do not try this alone. Having somebody out there, somebody who has your back, it provides accountability for you. It calls forward objectivity. They have the ability to see who you are and what you are doing. My clients frequently say that I hold their heart while I kick their ass. And what they really mean by that is they know that I sit with them without an ounce of judgment, with true unconditional love for who they are and who they're becoming. And with that complete lack of judgment, with that acceptance and understanding of who they are, that kick in the ass comes when they create stories, because we all have a tendency to create a story. A good coach allows you the objectivity of showing you what you're not seeing, of helping you understand the stories you're telling yourself, because they're not getting caught in the drama. They're not getting caught in the illusion of powerlessness and the illusion of confusion and all the illusions we can create. A good, effective coach supports that and objectively will kick you in the butt when it's time, when you need that, in order to get out of that crazy spiral we can create. They support your creativity. There is nothing in the world like brainstorming. Brainstorming with someone who can truly see you, see your business, and see where you want to go, see how you may be sabotaging it, seeing how you may be making it much more difficult than it truly is. Somebody outside can help you with that and brainstorm with you about where it is you want to go and what you want to do. Plus, she can challenge you to grow. Stagnation doesn't support you. We all need to continue to grow, and keep on moving forward. Whether we do it at a fast pace sometimes, a slow pace sometimes we skyrocket ahead. It's all different. But a good, effective coach can remind you of your goals and your strengths and help you make it happen. Now remember, we had your goals, flaunting your expertise and your power and your authority. All right. We had not letting go of your lower self, embracing it, honoring it, letting it happen. We've got all of these things here that we've discussed to support you. Today, I promised you would remember what it felt like to have clarity, to have certainty and courage. You would know how to reclaim that creativity, to develop new ideas and create new levels of service. Today, I promised you would recognize how your core values impact your success. You would learn how to stay healthy emotionally, spiritually, and physically while finding time for you. My promise to you was that you would fully understand how your expertise, your values, and your outrageousness help create the 5 shifts that are needed. When you follow them, they are there. When you follow these 5 simple shifts, you will have it. You will know what you need to increase your income. You'll know what you need to have greater impact and greater influence. And you'll want that because it's what feeds you. What makes it exciting. All right? What you need in order to win, back to it. You need to base everything on your values. You need to own your power, your expertise, and your authority. You need to never overcome your lower self because she is too funny. She is too outrageous. Yes, she can be destructive, but she also can be highly constructive. Own it and embrace it. It is a wonderful, wild, outrageous part of who you are. Take time away from work and family quarterly. You need it. If you're in that mindset where time away, your company will collapse, your family would collapse. You need it more than you realize. It is a gift you give yourself quarterly, maybe a long weekend. You don't have to go to Hawaii, a long weekend away. All right. Invest in mentoring, invest in coaching, because it's somebody who truly support you doing what you need to do for you. Now you have a choice. Now you have a choice. We're coming to the end. You have a choice. You have a choice where you can stay stuck in the fear, the struggle, and being lost. You can stay stuck in survival, where your life isn't horrible. It isn't anywhere near as good as you would like it to be, but you have that promise. You can do that. You can stay stuck if you choose to, or in survival. Or you can listen to what I've said and be ready to play a much bigger and wilder game, to truly live the adventure of the journey, live the adventure of what it is you've come here to do. Why not? Why not jump in? How you can help, how I can help you. I have set aside time over the next 2 days to speak with you personally about how you can apply these ideas in your business starting today. Whatever your challenges are after having 4 businesses and having worked for 30 years with women in business, I've seen it all and I know how to overcome it. And I will be here to support you. On this session, this phone session that we will have, I will work with you to craft a step-by-step game, a plan to hit your income, to look at it. How can we hit it? How can we make it so much more? Impact, greater influence. What are your goals for the year and for attracting the exact clients that you want to work with? The cost of this is absolutely free. All right. Who is it for? It is for those visionary leaders I talked about who want to make a difference in the world, leaders who want to create, shift, and change where they are. Yes, we all want to make money. We all deserve to make money, but making a difference in the world is truly what this is all about. And we can do that when we continue to create, when we continue to shift and grow and change. And here we are. We want to support our clients in doing exactly the same thing. We want to support others creating their own shifts and changing where they are so our clients can continue to grow as well. They can't grow beyond where we are. So we want to grow. We want to take them where they're ready to go. Who is this for? This is for leaders who are ready and willing to take the risks they need to fly, because we don't get there without risk. This call is for leaders who are passionate and want more out of their lives, more out of their businesses. If that's you, book a session now with me. I would love to see you. Why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I love supporting others. I love helping others take their dreams and themselves to the next level. I've been doing it for 30 years, and my guess is in another 30 or 40 years, I'm still going to be doing the same thing. Life is too much fun to stop. When you love what you do, you don't want to stop it. Plus, I know that you may want me to help you transform your business. If so, we can discuss it and see if we're a good fit for the both of us. I'm speaking with you, but we'll both discover if it works. If it doesn't, that's okay. That's okay. We will have had the gift of being together for a short period of time, and I truly consider it a gift. So this is the final picture. And I truly would like to say thank you so very much. It's been a joy being with you and supporting you. This is the link I had said I would show you. Please do consider. Sign up, come and see me. I would love to be able to offer you any support I could. Just sign up for a 45-minute hour call, and let's see how I can support you in looking at how you are or are not looking at the 5 shifts that are necessary to support you in going to the next place in your life. Remember, you must focus everything on your values. They are truly what bring you peace. They're truly what give you the impetus, the passion, the freedom, and that flow, that energetic flow throughout your body that allows you to fly through doing what it is you've come here to do, so that it becomes your passion rather than your job. Flaunt your power, your expertise, and your authority. Ladies, this is not the time to be the good girl. It is not the time to play small. We've got to own what we know, own our expertise, and recognize nobody out here is perfect at anything. Nobody out here is perfect in our industry. We're always, all of us, growing, no matter how many years we've been doing this. So flaunt your power, flaunt that self that you've claimed, flaunt your expertise. You're good at what you do, or you wouldn't have had the audacity to open up your own business or to move forward in the corporate ladder. You are good at what you do, own it. And you are an authority in your industry. Again, don't do false humility and pretend you don't know. You are an authority. We're not saying the best in the world, but you are an authority. You know far more about what you did most other people do. All right. Also, do not try to overcome that lower self, that part of you don't like. Embrace it. It's just an outrageous side of your personality. Integrate it, bring it in, and you can use that passion, that power, that real impetus, that little really lovable wild child has. Use it to make you and your company go to the next level. And take time away to take care of yourself. Take time away really to look at your emotional, spiritual, and physical health. If you give from an empty cup, all you're doing is draining your adrenals and your immune system. Give from your fullness. Take time to replenish. It's the gift you give to those you love, to your business, and to your clients. And always, don't try to do this alone. None of us can. Do press this link. Check it out. Give me a call. Set up something so you and I can work together to support you, recognizing the shifts you need to make, how you need to make them, and how they can best serve your company. I'm here to serve you, as I have so many other wonderful clients I've worked with, from small towns in Maine, new folks just starting out in the industry, frightened and scared, but so much to offer, to New York City, becoming known within 10 months of working with me, becoming known as the most up and coming female entrepreneur in New York City. And what a great compliment for her, and what a delight for me to watch her succeed the way she did. We can do this. We can make this happen. Give me a call. I would love to spend some time with you. Hit the link below and make it happen. All right. Thanks so very much. It's been a pleasure being here with you.